Internet of Things world, a speaker could become an edge device. You could theoretically detect whether you have a lot of people or few people in front of you, because the echoing effect is different. You cannot, like in Asia where you have cameras everywhere and you do face recognition, that's a no-go in Europe.
Could you share more about your typical client when it comes to sourcing acoustics?
Yeah, normally our clients are companies that are already in the field established, that have certain market access, because if they don't, they wouldn't have enough quantity to justify to do it. And usually they see a gap. They see a gap in the market, a problem in their installation that they cannot adequately meet at this moment. And they would like to do it better, and they would like to have something to fill that gap.
So could you share a couple more examples?
Yeah, for instance, when you see let's say a concert hall or a parliament, and then you have these where the visitors sitting like above on the empores. And now you like, especially like in the parliament, you have a high hall, or like also in a place of worship. So you cannot put the speaker in front of them because there's just no space, because it's open air.
Right.
So you need something below the ceiling that gives a certain angular distribution so that still everybody can understand it, or a certain bending for form for that particular place.
Yeah.
That would be like a tip, some special speakers, because for the other ones, maybe they already have products. Or if a customer says, oh, well, you know what, I have been selling my speaker for 15, 20 years. I need a general refurbishment of my product line, and I want to do something more, or I want to put a feature in. That would be interesting. So for instance, one trend that we can see now, or that's in discussion, but it's not like completely used yet, is because every woofer, every speaker is also a microphone. So you could measure a sound, or you can use it as a sensor. So in the Internet of Things world, a speaker could become an edge device.
Oh, okay.
So theoretically, when you not just give sound out, but you also record back what signal comes back, you can actually estimate whether you have a crowd or no crowd, or a lot of people or no people. Especially in Europe, there's the issue that you cannot, like in Asia where you have cameras everywhere and you do face recognition, that's a no-go in Europe. That's privacy concerns.
Right,
you cannot take them. However, with the speakers, you could theoretically detect whether you have a lot of people or few people in front of you, because the echoing effect is different. So
and
when
then the speaker will output a different
Well,
quality?
if you establish let's say an internet device in the speaker that is sometimes sending a test sound at a higher frequency that you don't hear, and you measure the return frequency, return signal, you could detect whether you have a crowd sitting in front of you or not.
Because the quality of the sound should be different if there's a lot of people or a few people.
Yeah, the echoing effect is different. You can.
So does your team have the capabilities of actually custom manufacturing this?
Custom manufacturing, yes, but of course, again, the key element is to extract the value that the customer can actively sell to make it a success. So he has to offer a credible value for the end, not just like a nice to have, otherwise you don't get the quantity.
So you're actually very invested in your clients' long-term viability.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's very interesting, because it seems like a lot of people would be happy to take the project, get the cash, and go and make it, and then send it over, see you later. Why do you work in this way?
Well, maybe it's coming from my heritage. I come from Germany, and we do things for the long term.
Long term.
Because we do build buildings for 100 years.
Yeah.
And we believe that when you do things right, even if it takes a bit longer, but you do it right, it will give you an ultimate long-term value. And these customers will come back. So I typically do not take any projects that have a product lifetime less than 3 years.
Right. That's almost like a consumer commodity product.
I don't want a consumer. No, I don't
Yeah.
want it. Because the effort we have to put in, also for us, for the customer, for everybody to get this ready, if this is only viable for a year, it's not worth it to go that.
Right.
But in the professional world, the product life cycles are not so short. Different from the cell phone, where every year you have a new thing, everyone. And I think you can see, like the big cell phone brands, they have trouble to invent new features the customer really needs.
Yeah.
Because they're already at the level where what they call brand new is not so new.
Right.